And welcome to Twister Talk. I'm Gary. It's been a while since we've been around with you. I've had some health issues come across my plate here, and Sue and Brandon have been dealing with not health issues, but other issues in their own lives. Sometimes you just don't have a chance to sit down and do things. But I wanted to give you an update on what's happening. We have had an incredible, May and June, and a good part of July has just been nothing but a horrific mess rain-wise. Lots of flooding. Massive fires all over the country, unprecedented heat in places. And now, even though it's quiet for the moment, we're looking at, again, more heavy rains and tropical weather ramping up over the next couple of weeks. I'll take a look at that. Now, the latest we have right now from the National Hurricane Center is one area of significance, and they're watching out for it. It is not expected to become a tropical storm of any shape, but again, this could put out some heavy rains along the coast of Louisiana, Mississippi, and even Texas over the next couple of days. Northern Gulf Coast and southeastern Louisiana, satellite service and radar indicate the broad low pressure area moving inland over southeastern Louisiana, and that the associated shower and thunderstorm activity remains disorganized and located mainly to the west and southwest of the center. Little development is expected while the center remains near the coast this afternoon and tonight. The system is expected to weaken as it moves in further inland on Friday. Regardless of any development in tropical storm strength, which is not very likely, heavy rainfall is going to be a real issue along the Gulf Coast, especially Louisiana and parts of Texas, through Friday. Rains could amount to 5 to 6 inches locally. Now remember, this is not going to be over a 24-hour period. We're looking at, this is going to be probably over another 2 to 3 days. So we're looking at tonight, tomorrow, and even into Saturday. Something to be concerned about. Again, some heavy rains. We'd just rather keep our eye on it. In fact, even talking about that now, convection has moved to the western side of the main band with the intensive rain now around I-49 around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, I-49 runs basically north-south along the center part of Louisiana. I've traveled on that over the years myself a few times. Very heavy rains. Now, we're looking at some rains that received 2.5 inches of rain since this morning. That's 2.5 inches of rain in parts of Louisiana. That is since about 9 o'clock this morning. More heavy rain is forecast throughout the night into Friday and even into Saturday. Again, that's what we're saying. Some rain totals could be 5 to 6 inches. We're looking at areas that are already saturated rain-wise, saturated ground throughout a whole area. Flash flooding is going to be a real issue for those parts of Louisiana, even into eastern Texas, as we get into the Friday and Saturday. Heavy rains, flash flooding, a real issue. We've had historic flooding in the last month and a half through parts of Texas, through parts of the Southeast, through parts of the Midwest, you name it, it's been hit. Places have had somewhere 10 to 20 inches of rain. You heard me right. Between 10 and 20 inches of rain total in the last month in parts of the Midwest and parts of the Central Plains and parts of Texas. Areas are getting rain that usually falls during a whole summer inside of a week to week and a half. So you're getting 3 months worth of rain sometimes in a 7 to 10 day period. Massive destruction. We know many deaths this past summer in parts of Texas and other parts of the country. There has been just horrific flood damage, even heavy rains, and some deaths reported along the East Coast. New York City, subways were flooded yesterday due to 2 to 3 inches of rain falling in those areas. Again, this is going to kind of move on in regards to growing and expanding over the next week or so as hot, humid air, that heat dome begins to build again throughout the Central Plains and moving to the east. This time there'll be lots of heat and humidity with it, especially as it moves toward the east coast. The tropics are going to be quiet for the next 7 to 10 days right now. There is some development maybe in the Caribbean and maybe parts of the eastern Atlantic coming off the coast of Africa. But any development is going to be slow to happen and slow to mature. But again, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a tropical storm to have flooding rains. And of course, we found that out over most of the country with the tropical moisture and everything streaming from the Gulf and producing torrential rainfall in many parts of the country, especially east of the Mississippi. Of course, well as Texas and even places New Mexico. How do you have wildfires, and you have also incredible rains within a few hundred miles of each other. It's been a mind-blowing summer. The atmosphere has been juiced all summer. Another heat dome is building. We're going to have to keep an eye on everything because, again, right now it's just slowly coming together. But remember to keep an an ear open to what you're hearing on your TV, your weather radio, and from local trusted weather sources, because, again, it's going to be slow to build, but in some areas are going to get very, very hard with this. People have lost everything in these floods, lives, property, injuries, you name it. It's been an horrific June and July, and August may be hotter than normal, and looks like also could be wetter than normal in places. That is summer in the United States. It's been a few years since we had anything quite like this. I know last year was the year of the hurricanes. They caused their own damage, but this is going to be more of a general rain pattern across most of the central, southern, and eastern U.S. right on into August. Temperatures again will be topping into the 90s and even 100s over the next 7 to 10 days. And that heat looks to be parked and staying in those areas maybe even through mid-August. We'll have to wait to see what the climate forecast says about that. But that is an update. Again, pretty heavy rains and not strong thunderstorms, but heavy rains and flash flooding going to be a real problem through a whole bunch of the eastern part of the United States. We'll keep you up to date on all the weather that's happening weather-wise in regards to rain and floods. For Twister Talk, I'm Gary. Good to be back with you. We'll try to keep you updated over the next few weeks. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.